And welcome back, everybody. We go to the Vinyl Master Shane. This is part 2 of the Record Store Day celebration on Rock of Nations. And Shane is scaring me right now. You know, I've been so hesitant to do video, and this is why.
Yes. Now, Jason, what is the release?
Lock up your children.
His hair gets longer. Mine gets shorter. Sorry.
That's the beautiful thing about
that's a slogan.
Viagra. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
You're not there, Dave. You don't have to worry about that stuff. But he's rolling it.
This is why I don't like doing video.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
We're not a sponsor, by the way, that I know of.
Yeah, we're not. Jason, what's the release? What are some releases that just are blowing your mind that are coming out?
Lately? Well, I mean, look, they've been doing these amazing box sets. Like I said, like the Black Sabbath, I think is amazing.
Yeah.
That's the second box set that they've done this year. So I don't know if this is a case of we were sitting around, we were bored, nobody could tour. Let's just do this, you know? I mean, that's probably what it is sort of clearing out the vaults. But well, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder, does that take away pressing time from indie artists, young artists who want to get their stuff out when you have like these massive things? But I think that's cool. I don't know. I suppose like the Black Keys record has been really pretty cool because it's like, you know, they're sort of typically just sort of like kind of like blues rock or roots rock or whatever, but they kind of went deeper on this record where they actually brought in members of like Junior Kimbrough's old band to play with and just banged out a bunch of cover songs in 2 5-hour sessions and said, here's our major label record, you know, take it or leave it. There's no real singles on it, but I think I think that's awesome. And I guess like probably the women have been really impressing me, like the St. Vincent record and Japanese Breakfast. I think her album is really quite good. And she's also a New York Times best-selling author, so it's kind of cool to have a film girl have the #2 book in the country and releasing an album at the same time. So
yeah, Shane, you told me about her.
Yeah, from Philly.
That's right.
She's at Brave New World's comic store on 2 Street.
Okay.
And she was always in there. It's just wild. It's just amazing that she is as successful as she is. I forget if she was just on TV the other day talking to. I think she was talking to Trevor from what's Trevor's show? Trevor Noah.
Oh, the Daily Show. Or the
Yeah.
Show.
He was interviewing her. I was like, and I looked up.
I know her.
Like, what the heck? No, I mean,
so great for her, man.
It was always like casual conversation, nothing like. I didn't stick around and we didn't talk for hours or anything, but Brian and the guys from there, Rob, they know her very well. So,
well, that one new video, she's got Michael Imperioli from Sopranos co-starring with her.
Yeah.
So I mean, she's got some major support behind her, I think. So
she's coming to Philly this year. Point, she's got 2 back-to-back shows. The first show sold out so quickly that she's doing a second one.
We got to see her, man. If we can, for that second, if we can, that'd be awesome.
Love to interview her.
Yeah, love to have her on. Oh my gosh, we love Philly talent. Homegrown, David.
Jason, can
probably would if she knows you. She'd remember you.
Yeah, Shane.
You leave a very distinct impression on people.
Yeah.
Share that.
Yeah, well, I guess you'll have to cut it.
Yes. But the Black Sabbath things, are you getting the feeling there's going to be more of those coming?
Yeah, actually, I mean, well, we also, I'm sure that there will be more. It's weird too. They've been skipping around, like they did Paranoid, then they did Volume 4, now this. So it's like, what is Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath? Are we getting Master of Reality? Like, you know, with the first album, I think that sort of came out at one point, but it wasn't it's sort of like when Purple Rain came out a few years ago, and it was kind of like almost like a halfway to what a box set is now, where now it's like these big, lavish. Did you see the info on the new All Things Must Pass George Harrison box set today? Oh yeah. I mean, talk about well, I mean, you can get like the big set, which is like I think 5 CDs and a Blu-ray, or you can get 8 LPs. Those are like the big sort of like commercial sets, or you can go all in for almost $1,000, and from the website get the wooden box that will contain the garden gnome on the cover that's sort of, smaller, some beads. I'm guessing they're sort of prayer beads or something, and a bookmark that was chiseled from a tree that was felled on George Harrison's property. So, I mean, you can get so crazy with this stuff. And I mean, Harrison fans will probably really eat that up. But at the heart of it, I think it really comes down to it's about the music.
Right.
So, I think that's the important thing. But
well, we've been getting to your point on Sabbath. I mean, we've been getting the press releases from their camp, and because I did think they did Heaven and Hell right recently.
Yes.
Some of the
Mob Rules too.
Yeah, Mob Rules, yeah. So they're really. Tony Iommi's done some interviews. We're trying to get him, but we'd love to have him on. But he's been doing these releases like they're. I kind of picking and choosing which ones they want to do. At some point, they were going to do Forbidden, which was kind of the 94, 95 record. It was pretty late because he wasn't always happy with the mix on that. He said that's actually one of the later records I like. But yeah, Iommi's been busy kind of working on that, I think.
That's the great thing about these sets and things like Record Store Day and whatever. I think a lot of times it gives the artist a chance to reassess what they maybe would have liked to have changed about some project and visit it again and put it out in a way that they're more pleased with and it feels more complete.
Right.
So
yeah.
But plus contain unreleased concerts, from the era and from that album's tour. So you're getting to hear some vintage Sabbath and stuff, or George Harrison or whatever attached to that particular album's tour, which I always think is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, case in point, we were just talking about this.
Oh yeah.
How, the Police are putting out the 2 live records. I mean, these were on CD, but it's still nice that they're putting them out on vinyl and that they're 2 separate. So you get the 1979 show and then the 1983 show. Yeah. So depending on which era of the Police you really, react with, it's cool.
Yeah,
both
classic live. So good.
Both of them.
I don't know. Some people are very like Synchronicity was so commercial, and it's like, yeah, but Sting hadn't quite dropped off that cliff yet into Phil Collins territory.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't the Dream of the Blue Turtles, which was way,
Yeah.
I'd like to see some more concerts from the Police other than just that live 2 CD set from back in 2000. I'd like to see
they have to exist.
Oh my, yeah.
Did they do something like after the breakup? Didn't they do something in '86? I thought like they came back and they had some shows, but I remember reading that. So I don't know if I guess
was that when they did "Don't Stand So Close to Me" again?
They might have. Let me try Dr. Google and see here. Because
the one from Boston, does that one have "Be My Girl, Sally"? Is that on there, Jason?
Is that? Oh yeah. Yes.
That's hilarious. I'm sure you're aware of there's like a whole story in that.
Actually, I'm not really. So school me.
Sally is actually a blow up doll, and that song is a a love song from Andy Summers to his doll.
Nice. So it's basically In Every Dream Home a Heartache by Roxy Music updated.
I think every band planet is written.
Yes, I went to Google to check something and then I just missed it. What did I just miss? Are you serious or no?
What? I'm dead serious.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at the 1986 Conspiracy of Hope tour, which apparently was part of Amnesty International, and although Sting was scheduled to headline as a solo artist, Andy Summers and Stuart Copeland joined them as the Police. Okay, but I don't think they recorded that. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm doing homework. It's like,
well, that was helpful. No, I'm just
yeah. Okay.
But anyway, any cool singles, Jason? Any 7-inches or CDs that are coming out that we should be aware of?
There were fewer than usual. I feel like they really sort of scaled back on the CDs this time. The Sublime and I think Ariana Grande. There were only a couple. And 7-inches, they also scaled back on those. I think that they weren't really selling as well as what they hoped, which is weird because I feel like lately there's been kind of a resurgence of interest in 7-inches. So it seems inverse to what is actually going on, but they might catch on again. I don't really know. But one thing that I think is kind of funny, and I maybe showed it in one of my other videos, but the Czarface MF Doom, the 3-inch, this is a 3-inch record.
Oh my
and
God.
you need a 3-inch record player to play it on. And I don't know. I think they move slower, but there's an Anthrax themed record player coming out in the July Record Store Day drop that has it plays these 3-inch records. So you could play your Czarface MF Doom on an Anthrax player if you wait a month.
I've never seen that small. That's wild.
Wow.
They've been doing these for a couple of years. There's I think there was a whole series of Johnny Cash or something. I'm not really sure, but
there was a Beastie Boys one. They did Sabotage from the Beastie Boys.
Okay.
I've never even seen one, and the fact that you're holding one,
they're so tiny.
Yeah,
that's wild.
It's almost like a condom wrapper or something. But
I've never seen that before. That's wild, man.
Or maybe it's about the size of a mini disc. You remember mini disc?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's about that.
What's a condom?
Well.
Yeah.
A 10 inches. I mean, you got the Suicide 10-inch for Cherie.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Dave.
pretty cool.
Hmm?
And some of the picture discs are getting. There's an AC/DC one.
Oh yeah. That's the what's that? What was that? Realize?
This was from Power Up. It's Through the Mists of Time and Witches Smell.
Yeah,
So,
cool.
recent.
That record is amazing. I love that record.
That album, that's one of the best AC/DC records. That's so.
I feel it's heavily underrated.
Yes, it's right up there. It really is. It is that good. I try to tell people, and they're like, yeah, whatever. It's just the same chords.
Right.
They haven't listened to it.
Brian sounds amazing too, which is.
Oh yeah, it's like you just didn't miss a beat. I mean,
I guess just
especially after he was almost done, right?
Yeah. Their last show was in Philly when Axl played like the end of that tour. So I'm hoping they tour. They got to get out there. I mean, they got to get out one more time. I hope they can do it.
Did you go to Dave? Did you go to AC Axl?
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, it was.
Axl did good.
Axl was great. I mean, they did like Problem Child. They did a bunch of other songs. They haven't. I think they did, not Problem. What was it, Problem Child or Riff Raff? Like they did a bunch of stuff they never did before with Brian. So it was pretty cool.
Cool. J-Man, what are you excited about for July now that we're? I know.
Gosh, I haven't even thought that far ahead.
I know one thing. Sisters of Mercy.
Oh yeah. Oh, I am looking forward to that. Thank you. I forgot.
Is that just an album or is that something special?
No, it's early material, and I think that there's some really pretty cool cover songs on there. And that's a pretty rare record. So I don't know what's going on with that, why that's being sort of revisited, except maybe Andrew Eldritch is deciding to record the follow-up to Temple of Love, right? Was that what, 1990?
No, been working on that for 30 years.
Yeah, well, he said that he would never record for Elektra Records again until he got out of that contract. And I don't know if they really took him seriously, but apparently he was serious.
They have so many unreleased tracks, and I'm hoping that that's what this is, because I know from what I read, this release is not on CD. Has not been on CD before.
I don't think I've ever seen it. So
I know they did a compendium thing of a whole bunch of their singles and B-sides, but this is I think it's more BBC stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lots of live material on there, I think. So
the BBC archives must be amazing. I mean, what they have,
They should just
like I said, just what I've been listening to from Amy Winehouse has been incredible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They know how to produce it too. I mean, they really know how to produce so well. I've always thought.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. I would say the next record store day, The Cure's Wild Mood Swings on a picture disc. I mean, that album is like a $300 record online.
Right.
So to have something like that, there were a few things. There's a lot of jazz that got sort of moved to that day. So I think a lot of the more people that are more interested in jazz will probably be out that day. It's not as big of a release day, I don't think, as the June one, but it's weird. Then I start looking down the list and I think, oh, there's that, oh, and it actually, then you start realizing there's actually quite a bit of stuff, and some of it's popular, like Pearl Jam's Alive, the 12-inch for that.
Yeah.
And the John Prine box sets.
What are the John Prine? I mean, that's got to be, what's that going for?
I think it's around 100, maybe 85 or so, but it's like 4 live records from the mid 70s. So
really good.
Yeah, we have John Prine story. Not allowed to tell anybody.
Yeah, talking to Danny Zelinsky, the famous promoter. Yeah, he said, "Is that recorder off?" I said, "Yes, it's off." And then he went into some stories, and whew.
We can't tell you.
Yeah, we've got our archives that are just
right up here
from the legend. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I guess if you want to tell me that story, I'll tell you the story a customer told me today. But I don't think we should do either one for the public.
I don't think so.
Stop, Jason, stop. No, I'm just something really interesting about this record store day, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't see it, but there's no Bowie for either.
Yeah, so no Bowie, and who was the other one? Oh, I guess we did get Prince, but there's was there someone else that we always get that we didn't get? Well, I think most of that was they really wanted to put out some of those Man Who Sold the World as a picture disc. They had like this Width of a Circle that was sort of a like a retread of it's got some BBC stuff, but it's things around 1970. And those, I think, from what I hear, they were intended to be record store day things.
Oh, they were.
I think that they just got sort of impatient and said, let's just put them out now, and which is fine, except, if what's the difference waiting 2 weeks? I don't really understand it either. But neither of those things also were as impactful as the live stuff that they were putting out last year. And probably the other big thing was that, I don't know if you were aware, but he put out he's not around, but the estate put out a whole series of live records through the winter. And so there were like 5 or 6 of them that went into a box, and you had to buy, and they were only exclusively available from the website. And they had so many problems and complaints with that from people, like that you'd try to order one and it would be sold out before you could even hit buy. And so people were like so frustrated because here they had the box and they couldn't get all of them to go in the box. And then other people were like, I had a friend who bought the box and he said I had to buy the box and it was $100 just for the box by itself, because there was no way to store them really then. So so I don't know, I think they were sort of like burned with what happened over the winter and kind of just throwing this stuff out there. And so
they correct the problem. They like a month or so ago that if you were screwed over, they're going to reissue all of them, and they're kind of seeking information from you. Like, you're supposed to fill out this, check the boxes on the ones that you think you want, and
doesn't that sort of just screw them again? Because now it's like that devalues the price of the record that they paid however much for to get it.
Yeah, I think the whole thing is, I think I'm done with that. I actually, there's another friend of mine who's a really big Bowie fanatic like you, and he's like, dude, I really don't, I don't know if I can afford this anymore, and B,
right,
like, it's kind of taking the luster, the luster.
Well,
the joy, yeah, it's gone.
Yeah.
I feel like if they don't make it available to the wider fan base, and they sort of are doing this, and it's only for like the wealthy people, then it really kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth, and it should for everybody, I think. So you're right.
Lose the fascination,
I still love him, but now there were supposed to be, I heard rumors originally there was supposed to be a 90s box set. So like early, like kind of Earthling Outside era.
Mhm.
Okay.
Now I'm hearing talk about possibly having a Ziggy Stardust box set because it's 50 years coming up.
Yeah.
So, and then of course that makes me go, well, where was the Hunky Dory box set? So,
There's so many others. You're right, because there's so many others you want too.
Yeah, and we're hitting those milestone markers where 50. I don't know, some of the Bowie stuff that they were releasing were like colored versions of some of his albums, and they were saying, oh, this is the 45th anniversary, and I'm like,
yeah,
okay, that's fine, but what's the significance of 45? I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a racket, but dude, we've gone from A to Z, but you never brought up Z yet. ZZ Top has something, don't they?
Do they?
that's why Shane is a producer on this show. What a great transition, man. That was well done. That was
I thought
great.
they had a live release coming out.
Oh,
From
for the
early
second one.
Oh, that's coming up in July.
I think so. All I know is Billy Gibbons just put out a record, so
Oh yeah,
I have that. Yeah. It's even got the old car on the cover. So
how's it selling? Pretty good.
it's selling pretty good. Yeah. Well, it's a blues record. I
Okay.
mean, I don't know. I guess I think about it and I'm like, isn't ZZ Top, they've always been sort of like a bluesy band anyway. So I don't know. Makes sense.
What's the album of the year right now, Jason? 2021 so far. What is
This
Jason's
is a tough year. I don't know, because the other day I made a comment about how I thought this year was the first year I felt like I don't know what's hitting me. Last year there were so many things that I was really into.
Hmm.
I don't know. A lot of people there are people that are on the fence with the St. Vincent album because they think it's kind of slow, or like, not like she's playing too much of a character. But I think it's a very personal record if you start really listening to the lyrics and the vibe that she's going through. It's just one of those that takes several plays to get into, but I really do like that record. So, but I don't know. Ask me in another 6 months, because I think by that time the end of this year I think is going to be insane. It's floodgates are just going to open because people are going to want to go out and tour, and it's all the stuff they were making in lockdown.
Yep.
So.
And there's all that new music. What's that?
That's the best album of the year. I know it came out last year, but I'm listening to this more than anything I've listened to in
You
the
played me last night. Yeah, that's good. It's got like a I don't know why I thought it was Satriani at first. It's got that Silver Surfer thing going.
Oh, it's got the dude with
rock, man. That band, you got me into them, and they're heavy, dude.
Yeah, they're from France, and Jason, you should get 100 of these and put them all for.
No, I think you mentioned it to me before. What's the name again?
It's SLIFT, and I guess you say it is Slift. They're from France, and the album title is UMMON. Umon.
Okay. How do we know it's not Slifed or Sleep?
I know. might call these guys and be like, "Hello, is Slift there?" And they're like, "Click."
Shortest you ever.
We want to talk to them so bad.
You're good, man. Yeah, no, Shane, you got it. How did you get in? How did you hear about them?
I have no idea.
Just
I was just
yeah.
late, 3 a.m, and I'm on. I'm not gonna. It's like 3 a.m, and I go on the rough trade site, and it's like super duper 50 color record from France, and you click on it, and it's already sold out.
Oh,
like,
man.
Well,
like
you're now the president of the fan club.
Yeah, everything on Rough Trade is sold out before you can ever get a chance to buy it. It's kind of like the Bowie site.
Oh, okay, yeah, that'll do
like
it.
a unicorn.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like seeing a unicorn. That's what I say.
Yeah, it's got that raw production. Whew.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But Jason, you are the man.
We love you, Jason.
Oh, I don't know.
Thank you.
I think you guys are. Thanks for listening to me bore you all to death.
Not at all. It's insightful.
I'm coming over right now to mow your grass.
Oh, thank you. It needs it so badly. And it's going to rain, and I'm going to be doing record store day.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Give our love to Aaron.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, bud.
Take care, all.